welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomason.
And I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan.
Hopefully you've had a great day today. It has been a glorious Friday. We've had cooler conditions walk through after last night's entire storm.
Yeah, after all the chaos yesterday, much cooler today. It was 20 degrees cooler compared to yesterday. Yep. And it was also breezy out there, so it made it feel a little bit more cooler than it actually was.
Oh yeah, we're going to keep those jackets out for you, especially heading into tonight if you want to bring that over to whatever your evening activities happen to be tonight, especially if they're outside.
Yeah, and overall, it's looking pretty good for the evening. Just remember to bring that jacket when you head out for any evening plans you do have. But overall, the weekend's looking great for that Miami game tomorrow. The game is sold out, so the Tucker Center is going to be packed for your number 8 Seminoles tomorrow.
Yeah, should be great. Should be warming up finally again tomorrow after temperatures dropping down into the 30s tonight. Yeah,
and it's been pretty interesting for our first week of 2020 for our shows. So let's hope the interesting weather honestly continues in a good way.
In a good way, yes. It should be hopefully very sunny in the next week for the most part. Might have a chance of a shower tomorrow. But for more on that and later during the week, we're going to head it off to Zach with a look at our show.
Thanks, guys, and we're seeing a very different picture than what we saw yesterday. Clear skies across the region, and that's going to be what we're looking at for the next several days as high pressure is dominating the region. Right now, sitting at 55 degrees, so a little chilly out there, and that's going to be dropping. We might even see some 30s into the tomorrow low, and we're going to be seeing those sunny skies for the rest of the weekend. So no clouds to speak of, and a very different picture than yesterday as we saw this thing lit up with greens, reds, and yellows as all that rain was coming through yesterday. But clear conditions across the region because of this high pressure system sitting over the Gulf right here. And then we do have a low pressure over here towards Louisiana and Texas, but that shouldn't be an issue over the next couple of days. And as for your next 3 days, we're going to see a little tiny chance of maybe a splash of a shower tomorrow, but other than that, not much to talk about. And we're going to be waking up pretty chilly tomorrow, 34 degrees, but we're going to be warming up into the 70s for next week. Now let's hand it over to Hayden and let's look at the southeast.
Yes, it's going to be a glorious weekend for the southeast. We're going to have a beautiful sunny weekend. Oh, sorry about it, wrong graphic, guys. All right, let's take a look at those dew points. It's going to be 27. Right now it is 27 in Tallahassee. That is bone dry. You need to bring that chapstick out there. Same thing at New Orleans, 35. And as you go further up north where it's even colder, we're looking at 22 for a dew point. Same over here in Charlotte. That is pretty cold. The only exception is, look down here in Miami, 57. So it's still pretty moist down there. So that's the only area you're really feeling the humidity. And you can see these dry winds coming out from the northwest, around 7 miles per hour in Tallahassee. So it's enough to add a little bit of a wind chill, so keep that in mind. Jacksonville, a little breezy, 10 miles per hour. And then same thing throughout the south with New Orleans at 12 miles per hour, just a little bit stronger. And this is all due to that high pressure, that cold sinking air really coming down that is sent central right over the Gulf of Mexico. You can see little showers and clouds out by the Keys of Miami. So if you're in that region, keep an eye out. And then look at this over here. You can even see some snow. And so that's really indicative of that cool air that has infiltrated the southeast region. And speaking of the cold air, look at Atlanta. You're under a weather advisory there. So that is until Saturday 1 p.m. So if you're going out tonight in the city or you have any festivities in the mountains, just keep an eye out the roads. It will be a little slick. And speaking of that cold, that's also penetrating Florida. We had that frost advisory until 9 a.m. Temperatures are going to be 33 degrees around the freezing point. And so keep in mind, if you have any crops like orange and you're a farmer, make sure you cover those. It's going to be a very big deal. So taking a look at that moisture forecast, you can kind of see that dry air for the rest of the southeast region. And slowly you can kind of see coming out from the Texas area and then coming up from the south. And this will continue to increase in through Sunday. And then by Monday, it'll probably lead to some shower chances. And we'll definitely have a chance to talk about that. But for now, the next 24 hours, you can see those low clouds coming in. And like I said, that snow is coming through Atlanta. And there is a possibility of some showers out by Saturday. But overall, I expect pretty clear conditions of that strong high pressure. And especially heading down into Florida, outside the East Coast, you're looking A-OK. For tonight's forecast, 34 in Tallahassee, very cold. Miami, that warm spot, 57. More of that cold trend up north with the 35 and cold rain. And then possibly showers up at those low to mid 30 temperatures out in South Carolina. For tomorrow, 65 to 70 degrees in Florida. And then let's get significantly cooler out in the southeast, those warm temperatures. All right. And so as we really head into this weekend, it is going to be quite cool, and we need to head out.
Thank you, Newton. For now, we're going to move in, take a closer look at Florida. Right now, our current conditions, right now it's 55. You got a little bit of clouds in the air, and the current conditions right now, we're covering up a fantastic view of our sunset over Doak Campbell Stadium, brought to you by a Weather STEM camera. Right now, our temperatures, we're feeling a little bit chilly. We're in the mid-50s to lower 50s up in 50 degrees in Thomasville, with the warmest spot on the map being 61 degrees in St. Mark's by the coast. Our dew points, we're very dry. That front that came through yesterday came in, took all our moisture with us as it moved on in towards the area. All right, sorry, I'm some stuff going on in the studio, but we have very dry air as we zoom out on the map. Not a cloud in the sky. And wait. All right. Sorry. Over the next 24 hours, the clouds are going to start coming in Saturday afternoon, bring in slight chances of rain. It's not going to be nearly as bad as the front that came in yesterday, but as a reminder, you are going to have some rain chances moving into the afternoon, evening hours of tomorrow. Tonight's forecast, though, if you're going out, you want to bring a jacket. It's going to be near freezing. It's 34 degrees in Tallahassee and around Monticello, Madison. We're feeling very cold tonight. If you're going out, you want to grab a jacket, bundle up a little bit. Overall, on the week ahead, we have Saturday, you're going to have a slight chance of showers, as you saw in the evening hours, 66 degrees. Your low is going to be very cold, 34 degrees. We might not have a frost advisory, but I would still recommend making sure if you have any plans you're worried about of potentially dropping a little bit cooler, you want to bring in, make sure you have everything that you don't want the freeze, bring it in inside anyway, because of it is going to be very close to that freezing number of 32. But Saturday, we're going to bounce back. We're going to warm up back to 71 degrees, 75. We're going to be moving back into the warmer temperatures in the mid-70s. Tuesday, 40% chance of rain. Cool it down a little bit. We've got a little slight rain chances going in. Wednesday, moving on into Thursday, Friday, it's looking like to be another rainy end of the week. But for now, I'm going to send things off to the desk with Hayden and Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. And honestly, looking at good conditions for the weekend, except for a little bit of Saturday evening. But we have a lot of activities going on around the Florida State campus. First, softball is kicked off this afternoon with Alabama and North Carolina.
Yeah, for sure. If you're heading out to Pensacola Park, if you're parked in Spirit, you can see the game right there. And then not only are they playing tonight, but I think they play tomorrow.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow, Alabama again, and then Detroit Mercy in the afternoon at around 1 p.m. So go out and check out your number 8 Seminole softball team. It's a pretty exciting season for them as well.
Speaking of number 8, isn't our men's basketball team ranked number 8 there?
Yeah, they're also number 8, and they're playing a rivalry game against Miami. Pretty exciting with the arena sold out as well. The tip-off is at noon for that game, so you better get there early.
Yeah. So as we're heading out to pack the tuck, keep in mind, remember Chris was talking about those low temperatures, like 34 degrees.
Yeah, it can be chilly that in the morning, so bring some layers. It might be a little bit warmer in the tuck, but honestly, pretty good conditions for the beginning of February. Can't go wrong with that. There might be a little bit of extra cloud cover because of that little disturbance you saw with Chris's futurecast for tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, if you're heading back from Tuck, you see some clouds, do not be alarmed. It's going to be a beautiful Saturday, and it's also going to be a great Sunday for us.
Yeah, so it's looking pretty good conditions for that as well. And then going into next week, we do have more softball. I think they play FAMU on Wednesday, and then also baseball kicks off next weekend. And it's looking pretty warm for that. We'll show you the 7-day once again in about 5 minutes after Evans National. But spring sports are kicking into gear now.
Yeah, it's a great time. Spring sports are kicking in. There is a slight chance of the showers later into the week, but I still think our activities are looking good.
Yep. But for now, we're going to send it off to the wall with Evan for that national look.
Thank you very much, guys. It's been a beautiful day here today and a very beautiful day as well in areas of Orlando where we're reaching our high of nationally at 88 degrees. It's been impressive. The heat bubble has really continued on. This was yesterday, so keep that in mind as well. It was before the cold front went through. In other areas where we're reaching negative 26 in areas of Minnesota, where we're currently experiencing those cloudy conditions, which are really holding the cold air impact and tight, especially areas in Bismarck that are hitting up 16 degrees. And really see cold much around the radar. We're not seeing much of a heat bubble areas anywhere at the 80-degree mark. But San Antonio, you were back up to 73 degrees after experiencing some good snow, rare snow for your area last week. Very dry across the radar after that cold front has moved through yesterday. The only moisture we're really seeing on our radar is Miami down at 57 with our dew point. Everywhere across the map, we're looking at dry conditions and see on our radar. But we are still seeing a little bit of moisture across the Ohio Valley and areas of West Virginia as well. Some snow really coming in behind the cold front that came through yesterday that's pushed itself off the East Coast and now will be out of our picture. But some snow has been left behind with another tiny cold front coming through, which is experiencing some of these winter weather advisories and even avalanche warnings. So be careful if you're on those mountains at all or traveling anywhere west, because this is flooding all the way up from the top of Montana down into areas of Denver and Colorado. And we're still experiencing as well at on the eastern side into areas of Maine is where we're seeing a lot of that snowfall coming right now. Winter storm warning that's covering a vast area from Maine all the way down to areas of Syracuse in New York and including down in the Appalachian Mountain areas for that. See, this cold front does fully move away. The snow does remove itself from Maine, but we do have a little tiny wave coming in through Atlanta and possibly maybe a teeny shower or two through the area of Tallahassee, maybe southern Georgia. You're going to be experiencing that. Meanwhile, we're looking at some snow possibly still remaining for areas of the west, including Billings and Bismarck possibly tomorrow, especially Denver, hitting up at 18 degrees for tonight. Going to be very chilly. You see a lot of the southeast getting very chilly, especially Tallahassee at 34 and Albuquerque at 32. Even hitting 43 in areas of Phoenix. Clear skies, which you would think a lot of that heat maybe would be able to get through, but sadly it has been a really cold all across our radar a lot, with 45 in San Antonio. Good news, we're starting to heat back up. 63 in San Antonio for tomorrow, 62 in Dallas. We're even hitting up a 73 over in Phoenix. But for tomorrow, we're looking at mainly sunny skies all across our radar. The only chance really is Billings with a chance of snow at 39 degrees. But you can see that really warm bubble is going to start to spread itself up throughout the south, coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. That southerly flow is going to start back up tomorrow, definitely with Miami and New Orleans getting down to degrees of 77 and 66 degrees respectively. But for a more local look, we're going to go into Michael, who has things around Tallahassee for us.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. And let's take a look at the rainfall for today. We did actually get a lot of rain yesterday from that squall line that moved through Tallahassee. Actually got 1 inch and about a little bit more of an inch from that squall line, but nothing today with those clear skies. But it's been pretty dry for this year. But unlike areas in the southeast where some places have seen over 2 feet of rain this year alone, here in Tallahassee we've only seen just over 2 inches of rain for the year. So it's a stark contrast if you just take the 5-hour drive north of I-75. Now sunset's happening right now, and those temperatures are going to drop into the 30s after that sunset. 55 degrees right now with that northwest cooling wind of 7 miles per hour. And similar conditions across the rest of the Big Bend, South Georgia, with 51 in Donaldsonville, 50 in Thomasville, and then 51 in Valdosta, and then 52 down towards Apalachicola. The dew points are much lower compared to this time yesterday. We saw a lot of dew points in the upper 60s and low 70s ahead of that cold front, giving the potential for those severe storms. But after that cold front moved through, dew points dropped like a rock, and now they're more winter-like, with 27 in Tallahassee, 30 in Monticello, and 32 in Thomasville. Now your wind speeds showing you that northwest wind, bringing in that drier air and those lower dew points. And they have lightened down over the course of today. They were around 10 to 15 miles per hour for the course of the day, but now they're starting to light down, giving that potential for some really cold conditions for tomorrow morning. We do have high pressure over the Gulf of Mexico. That's been giving us the clear skies. The clouds are going to build a little bit tomorrow, and we might have a slight chance of rain due to this low pressure system you see currently over Louisiana. Actually going to give some interesting weather north of Atlanta with some snow potential tomorrow morning. So they're under a winter weather advisory because of that. But here down in Tallahassee, slight chance of a shower in the afternoon, only around 10%, but mainly cloud cover, and then it will clear out for your Sunday as well. Now, the next 48 hours shows you the cloud cover increasing, especially in our northwest counties because of that low pressure system. But then it moves out pretty quickly, and very, very low rain chances with that. And then clear skies return as high pressure builds back in and moves off into the Atlantic. Good conditions out toward the marine forecast. It's a little bit chilly at 62 degrees with that south wind of 10 knots and a light chop. So pretty good conditions out there. Now for the 7-day forecast, looking good for the weekend with the slight chance of those clouds and a possible shower Saturday afternoon. But then the warmth and rain chances do return as we head into next week. High pressure moves off into the Atlantic, but then a front stalls just north of our region, expecting really high amounts up towards the southeast. But for us, low rain chances, but still there, but much warmer conditions compared to what it was today here in Tallahassee. Now we're going to send it back to the desk with Hayden and Evan.
Thank you very much, Michael. And the front that just came through yesterday, I know some people were a little disappointed, even though it did bring several severe thunderstorm warnings to our area, but it definitely impacted several other areas throughout our southeast.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like as a meteorologist, you're like disappointed, but like it's a very. I don't want any tornadoes. I think it's a very good thing.
Yeah,
in our area.
absolutely.
But yeah, like some of the areas that did get hit yesterday, there was 14 tornado reports. There's one year, Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina, both really high population areas. And so it was still like, there's still a threat.
It's still very scary for those areas, definitely, especially since mainly the high tornadic concentration area was mainly anywhere from Tallahassee up into Georgia, not really including areas of North Carolina.
Yeah, no, the instability is a little bit lower in that region, but still. And like you got to be prepared. Spring is coming up. There'll be more days like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then the day before that, we had 34 tornadic reports. Really, before we saw or expected this system to really develop and to have more tornadic activity.
Yeah. Like I know, like Jackson and around the area of Mississippi, they had it probably worse. They had a couple of strong tornadoes. I heard. I think EF3 maybe max.
Yeah, and areas of Starksville as well around Mississippi State. Fellow meteorology program over there. We also had 91 wind. We had over 300 wind reports over the past 2 days. That's wild.
It's wild. And that was the main threat in Tallahassee. Those just like 70-mile-per-hour winds, that severe thunderstorm, all our trees, that was the main hazard all along.
Hail was also a factor in this, as 31 hail reports, most of them in Louisiana. So you can see really how widespread this system is covered as well.
Yeah, it really was.
Yep, absolutely. And for more around Florida, what Florida is going to be expecting, we have Chris on the wall right now.
Thank you, Evan. Currently right now on our temperatures for Florida, the Panhandle is feeling a little bit chilly, 53 degrees Pensacola, 55 Tallahassee, 57 Jacksonville, so on. But over in South Florida, still feeling fairly warm right now at 72 degrees in Miami. Our dew points, you can see that the front really drained us of our moisture as it pushed on through yesterday. With majority of Florida feeling very dry, and they're still feeling a little bit moist down in South Florida. But for the most part, we are very dry throughout Florida. Our wind speeds, they've calmed down a lot over the past few hours. We're down to only 7 knots in Tallahassee, with the highest gust being the highest sustained winds being down in the Keys with 13 knots. Most of these winds are coming out of the north, which was bringing us those drier dew points pushing a lot of that moist air out of the area due to the clockwise rotation of the high pressure system that's out in the Gulf currently. On our satellite radar, that high pressure system was dominating the area, which is keeping these clouds out of the sky, keeping it to a nice, beautiful Friday that we experience right now. And these conditions are going to stick around for quite a bit, it seems, throughout most of Florida. As we start moving into our future cast, Saturday morning, still looking fine. You're going to start seeing some clouds move into the northern panhandle around 12 o'clock, and it's going to start pushing through, bringing some slight chances of showers coming in Saturday afternoon to evening as it begins to push on in throughout Florida. But tonight's forecast, feeling very chilly, especially in North Florida. You had those frost advisories going on. So if you're going out tonight, I would recommend bringing a jacket, bundling up a little, trying to stay warm. It's going to be another cold morning for Tallahassee. But tomorrow, we are going to be warming up quite a bit. It's going to be a very warm comparatively to today, as we're going to be mid-60s in North Florida, around the 70s in South Florida, with the highest points being 77 West Palm, 77 in Miami. But as the front came in, it's going to be nice, clear skies. It's going to be an excellent weekend to spend times outdoors. It's going to be a fantastic day to go out to the Miami game if you were lucky enough to get tickets. But tonight, right now, we have the Heat versus the Kings going on. If you're going out to this game, I would recommend bringing a jacket. It's going to start out 57, but it's going to drop all the way down to 47 by 10 o'clock, with the Miami Heat predicted to win by 20 points. But as we start moving on into the Bucks versus the Magic, I mean, the Bucks, they're looking pretty good with 44-7, but the Magic, they got 22 wins. You can't take that away from them. Right now, it's going to be pretty warm. I would, if you want to bring a jacket for 59 degrees, I would be my guest. Sunday, with the XFL, Tampa Bay Vipers versus New York Guardians. Blake Bortles may not be playing, but you might enjoy watching the game nonetheless. But for now, I'm going to hand things off to Zach with our local look.
Thanks, Chris. Right now, let's take a look over at that stadium cam again as our sun is getting ready to set. And we do have the temperature starting to cool down just a little bit. 55 degrees right now, still sunny skies, and we will see maybe a little bit of cloud cover tonight, but nothing too much. It's mainly going to be clear conditions over the next couple of days. So right now, let's look at our temperatures. 55 in Tallahassee, a little bit cooler, 50 in Monticello, 46 in Thomasville. So we're going to be dropping in the 50s over the next few hours, and then eventually into the late evening, we're going to be even seeing 30s maybe as we wake up to tomorrow. So as our wind speeds come in, we're seeing 7 miles per hour, a lot calmer than we were seeing yesterday. Yesterday, about this time, whenever we were reporting those storms, we were seeing about 14 miles per hour, so almost double of what we're seeing now. And then we're seeing calm conditions out in Monticello and Perry. So not too much wind action going on today, especially as compared to yesterday. But our favorite muggy meter, we're seeing very clear conditions, comfortable conditions, and that humidity is just not existent. That front pushed through, and we have high pressure dominating our region. So it is a great weekend this weekend. Smiley faces all across the region. Smiley face here in Tallahassee as we're getting ready for that sun to set. And this is what our big picture is looking like. We have that high pressure that's sort of dominating the Gulf. We do have a low pressure system over Louisiana and Texas, so that might bring in a few clouds, but for the most part, the high pressure system is going to try to dominate out those. So if we do see any clouds tonight, they'll be out of the way by tomorrow morning, and we should have clear sunny skies for the rest of our weekend. So we do have our Miami basketball game tomorrow, and we have Harrison in the background here, fellow meteorology major, and that game is going to tip off at noon. So if you're walking into the stadium getting ready to go get your seats, it's going to be 58 degrees as you're getting there, and then whenever you're leaving and heading to the car, it's going to be warming, 62 degrees, maybe a few clouds in the sky there. So as for tonight, we're going to be getting really chilly, 34 degrees. The first time we've seen those 30s in a little while. Winds are going to be calm, mostly clear conditions tonight and into tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to be having a high of 66. The sun's going to be coming right back out, and we are going to start to have a little bit of that pickup in the wind out of the south, so we might be bringing some Gulf moisture in. So we did have that 10% chance of rain, so maybe a slight little dash of shower out there because of that Gulf moisture coming in. But other than that, not much really to talk about. We do have those cooler temperatures, 34 waking up in the morning, 66 tonight, and then we're going to be seeing 70s into most of the week, and then we can see rain chances coming into the forecast for next week. But now we're going to actually start to wrap up the show, and we're going to start with something totally new. We're actually going to have a little friendly competition here at FSU Weather.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to try to not be Blake Bortles and throw an interception on this final segment, but we decided to make this last segment a little interesting by asking you the highs and lows. We're asking our fellow student meteorologists, Zach Law and Chris, come on real quick. And we're going to do the highs and lows of every state all time and see if they get it right, see if they get some guesses right. All right?
All right.
So we'll start with Florida. Easy. What do you think? Highs.
Highs.
Are we talking yearly highs?
We're talking all-time
All
highs.
time
Like
high?
all-time.
Okay.
All time.
Chris,
All the
you
way
wanna
through
place-
history.
You got your bet,
Wait,
Chris?
All right.
Gotta go quick on this.
108.
108? Okay.
I'm going close to that. I'll say 110.
You're right in between 109.
All right.
Wow, that's super cool.
So do we get a half point
So
for
let's-
splitting the difference?
Okay, yeah,
How's
yeah,
that
I'll
work?
give you
How's
a
the
half
point
point there.
system work
So
here?
let's make a deal.
It works enough. It's working enough. All right. So the lows?
Lows. I'm going to go with 18.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little cooler. I'm going to say 11 degrees.
This is -2 back in
Man.
Tallahassee. Zach Law gets it. It's 1.5 to a half. Yeah,
Must
right
have
here in
been
Tally.
75 or something like
All right, we'll move elsewhere. We'll go to Georgia. Some people from here live in Georgia.
that. I don't.
Used to coming from
Georgia. Michael didn't tell me this, but I'm going to guess 1 of 4.
Okay.
Am I able to phone a friend on this one? I know Michael's from Atlanta. So
Okay. Michael, what do you say?
I'm thinking 10.
So I'm hearing 110 from Michael, who lives in the
110 from
area.
Michael?
So let's see.
Hey, it's 112.
112.
All right.
Great job. Another pen. You used that lifeline well.
Yeah.
I must say, great job. All right, the low for Georgia.
Well, I'm going to phone a friend. Michael, what do you think the low?
It's Michael again. Well, Michael is from Atlanta. Michael is from Atlanta for our viewers, but
I
yeah.
know it's in Cartersville, -13.
Okay.
Negative 13.
Okay.
Well,
What do you say?
I mean, I guess I can't copy Chris's answer, but I mean, I believe the guy from Georgia, so I'm going to just go one up, -12.
Negative. It was
Yeah,
negative
steal my phone,
17. You were closer, so 1.5, 2 points and a half. So
All right.
getting close down to the wire. Next up is Arizona.
Arizona. High.
Hi. Yep.
I'm going to go with 120.
Okay.
I'm going to go
okay.
a little
All right.
higher. I'm going 128.
128 on the dot. Maybe that gets
How many
bonus
points is that? That double points? Man, Chris, you got some
Mike.
catching up to do, man.
Judges, you have bonus
Judges?
points. Cool. Yeah. Let's give them bonus points. All right. All
thumbs
right.
up.
4.5. All right. The low for Arizona.
Low for
Real quick.
Arizona. Negative 17.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say -25.
Negative 40. I'm
Man.
actually surprised by this,
Yeah, I'm
honestly,
surprised.
reading it myself. Yeah. It's very impressive
Well,
conditions.
It's pretty dry there.
Yeah, okay, the cold air gets a little bit there on there. But I hope you enjoyed our nice little segment here. Did something new, doing something fresh. And for all of us here at FSU Weather, I'm student meteorologist Evan Thomason.
I'm student meteorologist Crystal.
And I'm Zach Law.
Have a great night and a great weekend.
Fantastic.